Welcome back, everybody. This is the last segment of the show. This is basically the segment of the show, and for those of you who have watched both episodes prior to this, there is a segment at the end where we just recap the week and recap what news dropped and what happened. The first episode we did, Jimmy Garoppolo got his big deal last week. There were a couple signings here and there. But this week, a big news item dropped, and I just want to bring that up. And a couple other signings occurred, and another big signing also occurred. Actually, re-signing, I should say. So yeah, let's get this thing started here. So to start this off, in a stunning trade move, the Kansas City Chiefs have traded another one of their star players and cornerback Marcus Peters. He was traded to the Rams for draft picks. Excuse me. And basically, what did this do? What does this do for the Kansas City Chiefs? I think the Chiefs are getting rid of all the players that might be locker room cancers. And Marcus Peters was definitely one of those. He was very much a vocal leader in the locker room, and when you have a new quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be a locker room cancer, and you could not have that on your team. And it makes sense for the Chiefs to trade him away, and the Rams are getting a stud player. They're getting a great football player from the Chiefs, and he will be implemented very well in this Rams defense. But that begs the question, now cornerback Trumaine Johnson's going to be on the free agent market, so where does he go? We're not going to get into that yet, because he is actually one of the top players on the market. Yeah, so it's just, there's so many repercussions that occur from this trade. I think the Rams got better. I think the Chiefs ended up getting worse. Now, their two starting corners are Kendall Fuller and David Amerson, which is a huge downgrade from Marcus Peters. But, yeah, that's the trade from the Chiefs to the Rams. Rams got Marcus Peters. Chiefs are getting draft picks, which have not yet been disclosed. The Chiefs originally wanted Robert Quinn, which I thought would have made this an even better trade, but the Chiefs are getting more picks, and the Rams are just getting Marcus Peters. Next up on our free agency news this week, Brandon Bolden, running back for the Patriots, re-signed an $880,000 contract. Again, a depth signing. He didn't have much of a role prior to the Super Bowl, and now he does have a big role. With them now losing Dion Lewis, James White will still be on the team. And, yeah, I mean, Rex Burkhead's not going to be there. Who knows if Mike Gillislee will be there or not. It's going to be a very interesting year for the Patriots and who they bring in and who they don't bring in. It'll be interesting. I don't know if they're ready to throw the towel on Super Bowl wins yet. But, you know, this is just one of the signings they've had, or one signing they've had this year. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that in the Patriots. Next, this is actually a big piece of news. Middle linebacker Brian Cushing was released by the Texans last week. We didn't cover it in the episode last week because we were covering other signings from the previous week. This is big. I think he's an older player. He's had some PED issues, which is ultimately why I think they released him, and the emergence of Zach Cunningham and another guy who were really playing well for them in the middle of the field. And I think he wasn't worth the money they were paying him. But Brian Cushing, I think, is going to go to a team in the offseason like the Miami Dolphins or the Oakland Raiders, who will be able to give him a job with, I think, Navarro Bowman's going to be coming back. I think you got guys who are going to be on this team. They're going to be great for him. And I think Brian Cushing could be a guy that rejuvenates his career in another setting. And I think it's what he needs most of all. If I were to pick a team, it'd be the Miami Dolphins he goes to. Maybe the Oakland Raiders. I can see him in silver and black. But in a teal, green, and orange, I think is what he'll end up being in. And our last bit of big news of the week, Blake Bortles re-signed with the Jaguars on a 3-year, $54 million contract extension. This takes him out of the quarterback race, and I had them drafting a quarterback in the draft. I don't have them I don't have them doing that now. They are very much dedicated to Blake Bortles for the future, at least for the next 3 years, and see what he does. He had a great year with them last year. Leonard Fournette helped him out massively, and that defense was able to get him to win games. That defense is unreal. And now I'm happy for Bortles to have the starting job. I didn't want them to get rid of him because I thought he showed promise, and they rewarded him, and I'm actually happy that they did that. They kept him as their starting quarterback, and I think now you could either draft a guy for the long-term future, because I don't think Blake Bortles will be the long-term future guy, but he will be the quarterback for the foreseeable future. So yeah, that's really all I got on Blake Bortles, and that's it for the news this week. Again, more news will come out as soon as the new league year starts, trades, signings. Signings will be huge when the new league year starts, but next week, we can already start looking at next week. The franchise tag, deadline is on March 6th. That will not be next week. That'll be the week after. We will be covering that, or whoever's been tagged up to that point. As of this week, it's just Jarvis Landry of the Miami Dolphins. He's going to be staying there for another season. Next week, the Under Further Review segment will be the AFC North. In this order: Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We might have someone on this week. I'll talk to him a little bit later. Basically review and then talk about their needs. Free agent predictions. It'll be the wide receiver position. This week it was running backs. The week before it was quarterbacks. This week, next week it's going to be wide receivers. Look forward to that. And then more free agency news that comes out. So, again, if you like this video, like it, subscribe for more. I do this podcast every week. It's a 5-part series, 5 to 6 part series, give or take. And again, everything NFL. Don't forget to post your questions in the comments section below. There'll be a playlist on YouTube that I will be posting on Facebook as well. Click and watch, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one.